Hey everyone, it's Justin here, Alchemy Yoga. I hope you guys are having an awesome day and summer solstice. And I've got a special announcement for you guys actually. I just recently started doing Reiki sessions, so if that's something that's interesting to you or you'd like to try it out, I've got a special offer for people for their first session by donation. And to book a session, you can just go on my website, justinwestenberg.com. The link should be in the description, and there's a section on Reiki there. Or if you follow me on Instagram at Justin Wesenberg, there's also a link there. And first session for people's by donation, and the reason I did that is because I think a lot of people are skeptical about it or not sure about it, and it's hard to talk about, hard to write about. So I figured it would just be easier for people to try it out for themselves. So if that's something you're interested in doing, you are more than welcome to book a session with me or reach out to me and if you have any questions. And we'll get started today in standing. So just meeting me on your mat, bringing your feet together to touch, closing down the eyes, finding length through the spine, connecting to your breath. And when you're ready, drawing your hands together at heart center, setting an intention for your practice, for your day. And then drawing your hands to your sides. And as you inhale, reaching out through the fingertips, lifting the arms up overhead, interlace and stretch up. Exhale, hands come down, reaching out through the fingertips. Inhale, lifting up. Interlace and stretch. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, reaching up. Interlace and stretch up. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, lifting up. Interlace and stretch. Exhale, hands down. Inhaling up. Interlace and stretch up. And as you exhale, bending over to the right hand side, stretching out through the side body, pushing through the palms, hips towards the side wall, straightening through the elbows for 3, 2, and 1. Inhaling back to center, exhaling over to the opposite side, pushing out through the hips, straightening the elbows, stretching through the side body for 3, 2, and 1. Inhaling back to center, exhale, hands come down. Inhale, lifting up, interlace and stretch. And as you exhale, bending at the waist 90 degrees, palms towards the front of your mat, hips towards the back wall. Finding length through the spine here, gaze is focused down towards the mat, length through the legs. For 3, 2, and 1. Inhaling back to stand. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, lifting up, interlace and stretch up. Exhale, palms to prayer, diving forward, hands come all the way down, crown to the earth, bending through the knees as much as you need to release tension in your lower back. On your next inhale, interlacing the palms, straightening the elbows, bringing them up to your ears, rising back to stand. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, lifting up, interlace and stretch up. Exhale, sinking deep into your chair, Utkatasana. Hips back towards your heels, reaching through the palms, breathing here, fire in the belly. Inhaling back to stand. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, rising up onto your tippy toes. Thumbs come together to touch. Reaching up through your fingertips, finding length here, finding balance. For 3, 2, and 1. Exhaling, feet come down, hands come down. Inhale, lifting your arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, palms to prayer, folding forward, coming all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, planting the palms, stepping the feet back, coming into a high plank. Stacking shoulders over wrists, pushing your heels back towards the wall behind you, pushing down through the palms, engaging the upper back. Option to come down to your knees here. And as you exhale, lowering down with control. Inhale, lifting through the heart, opening the chest, and then sending the hips back, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, right leg reaches up towards the sky. As you exhale, stepping it through, rising up for crescent lunge, energy through your fingertips, engaging that back leg, back heel, breathing here. On your next exhale, left hand comes down, right fingertips reach up towards the sky, twisting open through the chest here, stretching the upper back. And as you inhale, windmilling up to stand, bringing that back heel down, opening up into warrior 2. Inhale, flipping that front palm, reaching up and back, reverse warrior. Peeling open through the side body, opening the chest. And as you exhale, bringing that forearm down to your thigh, peeling the left fingertips open to the front of your mat. Option to take the half bind here, bringing the palm beneath your lower back. Option to take the full bind, clasping the palms beneath your thigh, peeling the heart and chest away from the leg. Option to gaze up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, straightening the front leg, releasing the grip, coming back to stand. And as you exhale, left hip comes back, right fingertips come forward, and then dropping that right hand down, left hand reaches up to the sky for Trikonasana, triangle pose. Inhale, rising back to stand, pivoting your right toes towards the long side edge of your mat, lifting your hands up to the sky, 5-pointed star. And as you exhale, folding forward at the waist, crown towards the earth. And just allowing yourself to stretch the back line of the legs here, opening the hamstrings, the calves, the ankles, the feet, lower back. Inhale, rising back to stand. Pivoting your right foot forward, left knee comes down, coming into a low lunge. Option to place your hands on blocks on your thigh or fingertips up towards the sky, whatever variation feels best for you. Sinking deep into the hips here. On your next exhale, hands come down, walking that right foot out to 40, so the toes are pointing out at 45 degrees. And then sinking into dragon pose here. Option to bring your forearms down to the mat if you have space in your body. Option to roll onto the outside edge of that right foot if it feels good for you. Just honoring your body and your practice. And breathing deep into the hips here. On your next inhale, grounding through the palms. Curling your back toes under, stepping your front foot back, coming into downward facing dog. Option to cycle through Vinyasa here, coming forward, stacking shoulders over wrists. As you exhale, lowering down till your elbows are in line with your rib cage. Inhale, lifting through the heart, opening the chest. And then as you exhale, rolling the hips back, downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here, just allowing yourself to ground and connect to the mat. Inhale, lifting your left leg up towards the sky. As you exhale, stepping it through, rising up for crescent lunge. Energy through that back heel, reaching up through your fingertips, engaging the quad here. On your next exhale, right hand comes down, left fingertips reach up, opening through the heart, lifting through the chest, creating space in the upper back. And on an inhale, sweeping those arms around, windmilling yourself up, coming into Warrior Two, pivoting that back heel parallel to the back edge of your mat, grounding that heel down into the earth, reaching and stretching through your fingertips. Inhale, lifting that left palm up and back towards the wall behind you. Sinking into reverse warrior, maintaining that bend in your front knee. And then as you exhale, forearm comes to thigh, peeling the right fingertips open towards the front of your mat for extended side angle. Option to bring your palm around back for the half bind. Option to clasp the hands under the thigh for the full bind, peeling the heart and chest away from the leg. Inhale, rising back to stand, releasing the bind. Straightening that front leg, right hips come back, left fingertips come forward. Then left hand down, right hand up. Trikonasana, triangle pose on the opposite side. Inhale, rising back to stand, pivoting your toes towards the long side edge of your mat, clasping your palms beneath your lower back. Inhale, lifting through the heart, opening the chest, and as you exhale, diving forward, crown to the earth. Inhale, rising back to stand, releasing the grip on the palms, left toes pivot forward, right knee comes down. Coming into a low lunge, option to have the hands on the thigh, on blocks, or up towards the sky, whatever variation feels best for you. And then drawing your hands down to the mat, walking that left foot out to the long side edge of your mat. Toes are out at 45 degrees. Option to come down to your forearms here. Option to roll onto the outer edge of that left foot. Just listening to your body, your practice, and doing what feels best for you. Few more deep breaths into the hips here. And when you're ready, grounding through the palms, curling the back toes under, stepping that front foot back, downward facing dog. Option to stay here, option to cycle through Vinyasa, stacking the shoulders over the wrists. As you exhale, lowering down. Inhale, lifting through the heart, and then sending those hips back, downward facing dog. One more breath here. On your next inhale, rising up onto your tippy toes, and as you exhale, hopping or stepping forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, reaching and rising all the way up to the sky. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Closing down the eyes. Connecting with your feet, rooting down into the earth. And when you feel grounded and connected, you can inhale, reaching your arms up to the sky. As you exhale, dropping the left palm down to catch the inside edge of your left foot. Option to stay here. Option to kick back through your left foot, reaching forward through the right fingertips. Inhaling back to stand. And then from here, we're going to wrap our left leg around the top of our right leg. Left arm under right for eagle arms. Drawing the elbows away from our chest. Sinking low through the hips, stacking shoulders over hips. Breathing here in eagle pose. Inhale, releasing the leg, releasing the arms. Bringing the feet back down to touch, maybe pedaling out the legs a bit if that feels good for you. And then when you're ready, switching sides. Inhale, lifting up through the hands. Right hand drops down for the inside edge of that right foot. Preparing for dancer's pose. Inhaling here, reaching through the fingertips. And as you exhale, kicking back through the foot, reaching forward through the hand, finding length, finding strength. Inhale, rising back to stand. Crossing that right leg over your left. Right arm under left. Eagle arms, eagle legs. Sinking deep into the hips here. And then releasing the legs, releasing the arms. And drawing your hands together at heart center. Feeling balanced, feeling connected. Inhale, reaching your fingertips up to the sky. As you exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And then planting the palms, stepping the feet back, lowering down halfway. Inhale, lifting through the heart, opening the chest. And as you exhale, sending the hips back, downward facing dog. Coming down to your knees here into a wide-legged child's pose. Hips back towards your heels, crown or forehead down to the earth. And then walking your hands over to the left-hand side of your mat. Staying in child's pose and just stretching through that right-hand side of your body. And then walking the hands over to the right-hand side, both hands stretching through the left-hand side of your body. And then hands come back to center. Bringing yourself forward. And we're going to come into a forearm plank, clasping the palms, stacking our elbows underneath our shoulders, curling the toes under. Heels drive towards the back wall, engaging through the core, engaging through the upper back, not dropping the belly here, breathing deep. On your next exhale, bringing the knees down, bringing the chest down, stacking your forehead on palms, or bringing a cheek to the mat, whatever feels best for you. From here, clasping your palms behind your lower back. Zipping your legs together to touch. And as you inhale, pulling back through the palms, optional lift the legs. Opening through the chest, opening through the collarbones. Breathing here for 3, 2, and 1. Lowering down, releasing the legs, releasing the palms. You ride a cheek to the mat, just making sure to switch sides to balance out the neck. And then we're going to reach back with our left hand for the outside edge of our left foot. You can continue resting your hand on your palm if you want, and just pulling that heel in towards your hips, and then driving that left hip down into the mat, just stretching through the quad, opening through the hip flexor. If your quads are quite open, you might not be feeling much of anything here, but If you're like me and you've been doing lots of biking and hiking, then your quads could use a nice good stretch. On your next exhale, releasing that leg and then switching sides, reaching back with your right hand for the outside edge of your right foot. Bringing that heel in towards your hips and then just pushing that right hip down towards the mat, engaging the quad, stretching through that front hip flexor. And then releasing that leg down, rolling over onto your back, preparing for bridge pose. Soles of the feet are about hip distance apart with the ability to graze the back edges of your heels with the tips of your fingers. Grounding down through your heels, and as you inhale, lifting up through the hips, opening the chest, opening the heart. Chin draws in towards your chest, option to clasp the palms beneath your lower back, rolling the shoulder blades under, reaching up through the heart, pushing down through the heels. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Releasing down. And we're going to take bridge or wheel, yogi's choice. So option to take bridge, the pose we just did. Option to take, if you're taking wheel, you can bring your hands up to your ears, fingertips facing the bottom edge of your mat. And as you inhale, coming up onto your palms, straightening through the arms, straightening the legs. Chin in towards your chest, breathing here. On your next exhale, gently lowering yourself down. Squeezing your knees in towards your chest or windshield wiping your legs side to side. Whatever feels best for you to release tension in your lower back. We're going to bring our feet back down to the mat. Right ankle crosses over left thigh, coming into a figure 4. An option to stay here. If you'd like to move deeper, option to grab behind your left thigh or your left shin, depending on the flexibility of your body. Keeping the back of your head grounded down into the mat, flexing those right toes up towards the sky to protect your knee, and just allowing the hips and the glutes to open here. Releasing the legs down and switching sides. Left ankle comes onto your right thigh. Option to stay here. Option to grab behind the thigh or behind the shin, depending on your flexibility and what feels good for you. And just flexing those left toes up towards the sky, protecting the knee joint. For Breathing deep into the hips here. On your next exhale, gently releasing the feet down to the mat. Squeezing your knees in towards your chest. And then rolling up into a seated position. Legs out in front. Extending the right leg out into the side. Left sole of the left foot comes in towards your thigh. Squaring the upper body over your extended leg as you inhale, reaching up through the fingertips. As you exhale, reaching for your toes, for your shins, for your thigh, whatever is accessible for you. And if you find this pose is hard on your lower back, you can use a strap or a belt or a t-shirt, whatever is handy for you to release tension in your lower back here. On your next inhale, rising back to seated. Switching sides, left foot comes out, right foot comes in. Reaching for the toes, for the shins, for your foot, whatever is accessible for you. Just allowing yourself to find deep rest and surrender here. On your next inhale, rising back to seated. Bringing the soles of the feet together to touch. Lengthening the spine, and then walking your hands beneath your shins. Hands reach to the tops of your feet, folding at the waist, and drawing the crown of your head towards your toes. Inhale, rising up through the spine, And as you exhale, coming to lie down on your mat. Squeezing your knees in towards your chest, and then rolling your legs over to the right hand side, reaching out through the left fingertips, grounding through both shoulder blades. Option to gaze over your left hand if that feels good for you. And just allowing the entire backside body to unwind here through the hips, the lower back, the spine, the upper back, the shoulders, the neck. And on your next inhale, returning back to center. And as you exhale, rolling over to the opposite side. Grounding through both shoulder blades, reaching the right fingertips out to the side if that feels good. And just allowing your entire backside body to unwind here. Inhaling back to center. Reaching for the soles of your feet, coming into happy baby. Option to rock and roll side to side or straighten through the legs, whatever feels good for you. And when you're ready, bring your legs down. Your final resting pose of Shavasana. Letting the toes open up to the sides. Palms reach up towards the sky. Closing down the eyes. And taking a nice deep breath in through the lungs, filling all the way to full. And then exhaling it out through the mouth, letting it go. One more big deep breath in, filling the lungs all the way to full, breathing it in deep. And then exhaling out the mouth, letting it go. And just allowing yourself to find complete relaxation and surrender here. Gently bringing attention and awareness back to your body. Finding slight movement in your fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. And giving yourself a nice good morning stretch. And then when you're ready, rolling over onto your right hand side, coming into the fetal position. And then rising to meet in a comfortable seat. Rooting down through the sit bones. Finding length through the spine. Closing down the eyes. And connecting to your breath. Bring your hands together at heart center. And just remembering the intention you set today at the beginning of practice. And then bringing your hands up to your third eye and bowing to the light within. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me. Hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I will see you guys again next week.